Welcome back, students. Today we are going to discuss digestive system topic of Unit 6, that is multicellularity, structure and function, animal life, part 1. Okay, so digestive system is the topic of today's discussion. So before start the main topic, I would like to inform that the images used in our slides are for education purpose only. We respect intellectual property right of the original creator and owner of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this PPT, have any concern, any issue, please contact us at sathee@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. In today's topic of discussion means digestive system, we are going to discuss these points: animal nutrition, organs involved in digestion, and digestive processes. So, what is animal nutrition? Animal nutrition include nutrition or nutrient requirement, mode of intake of the food, and its utilization in our body. For what? To generate energy. Okay, so animal nutrition include nutrient requirement, mode of intake of that nutrient means as a food, and its utilization in the body. So what are the components? Components include carbohydrate, right? These are the complex substance, right? Carbohydrate, protein, fat, these are the components which comes under animal nutrition. So but these carbohydrate, fat, protein are present in a complex form. So this complex structure we cannot directly utilize. So our body first convert these complex forms like carbohydrate into the simpler form. These are present in a polysaccharide form. Okay, so our body actually broken down into the simpler form or simpler substance like monosaccharide, protein in the amino acid forms. Okay, slowly, and this breakdown of the complex component of the food into the simplest substance, or we can say in a form which is very quickly our body can absorb for the energy purpose. This process is known as digestion. Okay, so broken down of the complex substance into the simpler form. Okay, this is known as digestion, right? So our digestive system means human digestive system have two main part. First one is our alimentary canal. As you can see over here, this is the total digestive system. It contains alimentary canal and certain glands are involved. Okay, this is the mouth. Okay, first big particle convert into the smaller particle in the mouth with the help of teeth, right? And saliva and tongue, right? And this is the mouth, and then this is the esophagus, long duct-like structure from where mouth to, after swallowing the food from the this esophagus, it will come towards the stomach side, right? And this is J-shaped structure, our stomach, followed by small intestine. This whole comes under the small intestine. We can further divide small intestine into three parts. First one, duodenum, then jejunum, and then ileum. Last part, ileum, followed by large intestine. Okay, there are again three different type parts of large intestine like cecum, colon, and rectum. Okay, so these are the part of our digestive system. Certain glands are also involved like salivary glands. Salivary gland is present in our mouth in various area like sublingual, submandibular, and parotid forms, which actually release saliva and saliva actually help to convert that big particles of food into the small particles or bolus form. Okay, and some glands are present over here also, like liver, and this is this leaf like structure is known as pancreas. Pancreas is act as a exocrine or endocrine gland both, so it is able to release certain kind of hormone and certain kind of enzymes. So there are three type of glands are also involved, which actually provide certain kind of enzymes, or liver help to produce bile for the which is help in the digestion of fat. So over this is just an overview of our digestive system. One by one, each type of each part of the digestive system we are going to study. Okay, so mainly right now I'm going to tell you that our digestive system means human digestive system have two main part. First one is the alimentary canal, and this is a muscular tube like structure. Okay, this alimentary canal is a muscular tube like structure which act as a pathway for food, which start or beginning its beginning comes from the mouth side, beginning at the mouth side and conclude at the anus. So whole organs, whole things which comes under this category from mouth to anus, they all things, all type of organs comes under alimentary canal category. Okay, and with animal alimentary canal, as just now I said, that certain kind of glands are also involved, and these glands are actually lie down just outside the canal and mainly help to secrete certain kind of digestive juice, which actually assist in the food breakdown, like salivary gland, like liver, pancreas, and gallbladder. Clear? Now, so first of all, we are going to discuss all the parts involved in the alimentary canal. So the first part is our mouth or oral cavity. Okay, so ingestion process commences within the oral cavity itself, and this oral cavity consists of teeth. First of all, teeth, as in human have thecodont, diphicodont, and heterodont type of dentition, means different type of teeth we are having in our oral cavity. In an adult human being, we have 32 permanent teeth. 32 permanent teeth. Okay, so if we just I just draw a vertical line in the oral cavity. If I'll count this much amount of the teeth, then there is a dental formula with the help of which we can count the total number of teeth of any individual. So in the human being, first of all, first two, like first two, 1 and 2, these are incisor. 1 canine, so 2, 1, 2 premolar, and 3, 1, 2, 3 are molar. So how can I write it down? Dental formula is equal to incisor, canine, premolar, and then molar. So incisor 2 number, canine 1, premolar 2, and molar 3, followed by similar kind of teeth are present on the upper side. So 2, 1, 2, 3. So this is the total formula with the help of which we can calculate the total number of teeth present in the one's individual type of species, or human, or any type of any kind of mammal. Okay, so number of teeth in one half of the upper jaw divided by number of teeth in one half of the lower jaw. With the help of this formula, we can calculate total number of teeth present in our oral cavity. Okay, so 4 type of teeth: incisor, canine, premolar, and molar. Okay, and the hard enamel which is present on the just outside surface of our teeth is known as enamel, and this enamel actually help in mastication of the food. Okay, this is the general structure of our tooth. This is the hard surface which help to masticate or cutting of the break down the bigger particle into the smaller particle, followed by the dentine. Okay, and this and the lowest part is known as pulp, and this on this pulp side there is a nerve and blood supply. So this part is known as root, and this upper part contains enamel and dentine is known as crown part of our tooth. This is the general structure of our tooth. Now, first part is teeth or tooth structure already we have discussed. Next part which is present in our oral cavity is tongue. Okay, and as you can see in this particular picture, this is tongue. It is a muscular structure or muscular organ which is attached to the oral cavity by frenum, by a structure known as frenulum, and it is having certain kind of projections. These projections are known as papillae. Some of the papillae contains taste buds also. We can classify papillae into three different types: fusiform papillae, filiform papillae, which are present on the front side, and on the both the sides of the tongue, foliate papillae are present, which contains taste buds. Okay, so second part which is present in our oral cavity is tongue. Then, so this is tongue, this is the tongue structure, and here certain kind of jaw, this is jaw, so teeth are present. Okay, now followed by the pharynx, which is present on the last part. Okay, and we can say it is a passage. Okay, it is a brief passage which serve as a shared conduct for both food and air, because with the help of nostrils or nasal cavity we just inhale the air, oxygen, that also comes from this pharynx and go towards the air duct side, and from this side we also have our food, and this also comes towards the pharynx side. So it comes as a common area for both food and air, pharynx. During swallowing type, when we just swallowing our food, there is a structure known as epiglottis. It is again a muscular structure. It is a cartilaginous flap, more correctly cartilaginous flap. It actually just act as a safeguard against food inspiration by preventing its entry into the trachea, here, into the trachea. So our food must come over here in the esophagus side. Okay, so this flap, which is a cartilaginous structure, cartilaginous flap, it actually just shut down that area from where just only air is allowed to go in the trachea. Okay, so this is the structure. Now, teeth and tongue, both the area present in the oral cavity. In the last size, there is a common area which is known as pharynx, from where both the air as well as food both comes down, and only food comes towards the esophagus area. Why? Because this epiglottis is actually avoid to coming food into the windpipe. Clear? So this is the next area, pharynx, followed by esophagus, right? It is a muscular tube, muscular duct, muscular tube that actually employ peristaltic movement to propel food down towards the stomach side. Okay, esophagus directly open into the stomach via a muscular sphincter. Okay, this is the next area. So this is the esophagus, right? And after esophagus, there is a J-shaped area, which is known as stomach. What is the structure? J-shaped structure. The upper portion of the stomach is known as cardia, first portion. Okay, followed by, so there are three major part of our stomach. First is cardiac portion, followed by fundus portion or fundic portion, and the largest part, that is body or pyloric portion. So cardiac portion, fundic portion and pyloric portion, which open into the first part of the small intestine. So this is the first part, second part, and this is the third part, and this is the main body. So first part, no, this is not, this is the body, and this is the last part, pylorus part. Okay, and this pylorus portion is actually that portion of stomach which opens into the small intestine, first part of small intestine, through a sphincter which is known as pyloric sphincter. Why we use the term pyloric sphincter? Because it is present in the pylorus area. Okay, pylorus area. So it actually open into the first part of the small intestine. What is the name of that first part? Duodenum. This is the first part of small intestine. Duodenum through pyloric sphincter. Clear? Now, and in the stomach, this is the esophagus, which actually open into the stomach, J-shaped structure. This is the here cardiac part, then fundus part, and here pyloric part. This is the pyloric sphincter. Okay, and in the muscle structure, if we just cut it down, then we can see there are several kind of cells are present in the stomach body. Those are able to release certain kind of secretions like mucus secretion, HCl, hydrochloric acid, right? Chief cells are there, G cells are there, mucosal cells are there. So these cells are mainly involved for various kind of secretions which are present in the stomach for the digestion of protein and other elements of our food. Clear? Now, so small intestine is known as after stomach. Next part, small intestine, this is our stomach, right? J-shaped structure, and this is the first part of a small intestine. Just now I told you what is the name of that first part? Duodenum. Okay, duodenum followed by jejunum, and what is the last part? Ileum. First, second, and third. Okay, and the small intestine is the longest segment of our digestive system. Okay, so mainly all the kind of elements are actually digest and absorb in this region only. Okay, that's why it is the longest part. It is an intricately coiled and the maximum surface area. Why? To enhance digestion and absorption capacity of our digestive system. We can further classify this small intestine into three different parts. Already I told you: duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Okay, after small intestine, what is the last part? Large intestine. We can classify large intestine again into three different parts. First part is cecum. Okay, ileum open into the cecum, and then cecum, and then colon, this green part colon, and this purple part is rectum. Okay, so it consists of cecum, colon, and rectum, and this cecum part is a small part, just light green part, this is small part, a small blind sac in which certain kind of symbiotic microorganisms are also present. Okay, and a narrow finger like structure are also projected from the cecum part, which is known as vermiform appendix. So where is the what is the location of vermiform appendix? It is actually connected with this cecum part as a finger like projection, finger like tubular projection, which is a type of vestigial organ which is present in our body. Second part is colon. Colon we can further divide into three different parts. First, ascending part. This is the first part. Then transverse part. And then descending part. Okay. So ascending, transverse and descending. And this descending part further open into the rectum, which in turn open out through the anus. This is your anal gland. Okay, so this is the overall structure. Now let's discuss some lining part of our alimentary canal. As this is the cross section of alimentary canal lining, if you can analyze, this lining is made up of 4 layers. Outermost layer is known as serosa. Okay, followed by muscularis. Followed by muscularis. We can further divide muscularis into 2 different part, inner and outer. This brown one is the outer part. This light purple one is the inner part. Outer part contains longitudinal type of cell, while inner part contains circular type of cell. Okay, followed by this pink one. So this one is the second outer. Third layer, submucosa. Submucosa. So outer part serosa, then muscular, then submucosa, and the innermost part is known as mucosal membrane. This light brown. And inside this mucosal membrane, this is the lumen. Okay, so total alimentary canal have 4 layers: serosa, muscularis, submucosa, and mucosa. Serosa is the outermost part, as just now you have seen in that picture. It is made up of thin mesothelium having connective tissue. Muscularis formed by the smooth muscle. Submucosal membrane contains loose connective tissue. Okay, means loose connective tissue means it is having nerve, blood supply, lymph vessel, and certain kind of glands. These glands are present in the duodenum region. And in the mucosa level, just now you can see this type of structure, and this type of structure is known as villi. Okay, just now you have seen this type of projections now, right? So these type of projections are known as villi. So as you know, this mucosa is the innermost layer of the alimentary canal, and this mucosa forming irregular folds in the stomach and villi in the small intestine. Okay, so irregular folds in the stomach while villi in the small intestine. What is the use of the presence of villi? Because of the presence of villi, it will increase the surface area of a small intestine, which help small intestine to absorb more food. Okay. And in this mucosal epithelium, there are certain kind of goblet cells are also present, and these goblet cell actually help to produce mucus. And what is the use of this mucus? Just to provide lubrication in the alimentary canal. Okay, some cell lining which are present in the villi form microscopic projections known as microvilli, which already I told you increase the surface area. So villi are supplied with the capillaries and large lymph vessels called lacteal. Clear? So this is all about the structural, total structure of our alimentary canal, and what is nutrition for us. Okay, from where, from mouth to anus, all the organelles, all the parts which are involved in the digestion of our food comes under alimentary canal category. Okay, I hope most of the things has been cleared now. Still you have any question related to today's video lecture, you can write down to the chat box. We will discuss it later on. Till then, take care, bye bye, and keep learning. Namaskar.